Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a really powerful and ancient text, Lamentations. We've got the source material right here, and it's just this incredibly profound, raw expression of grief. National catastrophe,
It
really.
really is. I mean, this isn't just some dry historical record. It's a poetic cry from a people in just unimaginable distress. It gets into the aftermath in really vivid detail
Mm.
of the destruction of Jerusalem, often called Zion or Daughter of Zion.
Right, those names really emphasize how precious it was to them.
Exactly. And it covers the fall of Judah, too. It's just this testament to profound sorrow, profound loss.
So our mission today is to really dive into those intense emotions, the imagery, which is just so striking, and the deep insights. Some are quite surprising, actually. We want to help you understand not just what happened, but maybe why it mattered so deeply, and, perhaps what it might still mean for us today. So let's unpack this incredible lament.
Okay. Well, it begins with such stark imagery. It just immediately sets this scene of uh, utter shocking loss. The very first lines just pull you right in.
They really do. I mean, right from the opening, Jerusalem's transformation is just laid bare. The text asks, how deserted lies the city once so full of people? How like a widow is she who once was great among the nations? She who was queen among the provinces has now become a slave. I mean, that's a complete reversal, isn't it?
Utterly devastating.
Yeah.
From queen to slave. And what's really striking is how the city itself is like personified. It weeps bitterly at night. Tears are upon her cheeks.
Hmm.
And, that's not just poetic flair. By making Jerusalem this grieving widow, the text forces you to empathize, almost on a visceral level.
Yeah, it makes it so personal.
Right. It elevates this abstract idea of destruction into something deeply human.
And the physical devastation, you feel that too. The roads to Zion mourn, for no one comes to her appointed feasts. Can you imagine that? The actual roads are grieving. Gateways desolate, priests groan, maidens grieve, and then Chapter 2 gives it straight. Her gates have sunk into the ground. Their bars he has broken and destroyed. The actual structure of their sacred home just
God.
gone.
Yeah, shattered. It tells you everything about their world being turned upside down.
Totally.
I mean, this city, they called it the perfection of beauty, the joy of the whole earth, and now people just scoff at it. All the splendor has departed from the daughter of Zion. The leaders, the princes, they're like deer that find no pasture. In weakness they have fled. It's just absolute, a total stripping away of who they were.
And it's not just the city itself, the buildings and all that. It's the human cost that really, really hits you. Judah has gone into exile, can't find any rest. Their children, the young men and maidens, gone into exile, captive before the foe. People are literally groaning as they search for bread. They're trading their treasures just for food to stay alive.
It's a level of desperation that's, almost impossible to fathom.
Yep.
And the suffering. It's painted in these horrifyingly intimate details. Children, infants, just fainting in the streets, asking their mothers, where is bread and wine? While their lives ebb away in their mother's arms. It's not abstract. It's this slow, agonizing hunger, this death, witnessed by the people who love them most.
It gets even more gruesome, doesn't it? Chapter 4 says, the precious sons of Zion, once worth their weight in gold, are now considered as pots of clay.
Wow. Yeah, that image, it just perfectly captures the dehumanization, the total loss of value from priceless to disposable.
And then the most shocking part, maybe, the famine driving, with their own hands, compassionate women have cooked their own children who became their food.
It's hard to read.
It really is. What does that tell you about the absolute rock bottom they hit, the depths of suffering described here?
It speaks to, the extremity of it all. The complete breakdown of, societal norms when survival is the only thing left. And beyond that, there's the loss of basic rights. We must buy the water we drink. Our wood can be had only at a price. Even water isn't free. And the physical torment is just relentless. Our skin is hot as an oven, feverish from hunger. Their eyes grow dim from Mount Zion, which lies desolate, with jackals prowling over it. Just comprehensive, soul-crushing loss.
So after witnessing all that, this complete collapse, physical, emotional, the question just hangs there. Who's responsible? How did this happen? And the text, it definitely points fingers. There's a heavy weight of blame.
It absolutely does. The suffering is explicitly tied to the sins of Jerusalem, of the people. It says right there, the Lord has brought her grief because of her many sins. And it keeps repeating it, Jerusalem has sinned greatly and so has become unclean. There's this foundational belief that their actions had these direct, terrible consequences.
And it's interesting how they internalize it. Phrases like, her filthiness clung to her skirts, she did not consider her future. Or even that personal admission, my sins have been bound into a yoke.
Yeah, like a burden they carry.
Right, there's this clear acceptance. The Lord is righteous, yet I rebelled against his command, and we have sinned and rebelled, and you have not forgiven. It's not just blaming something external, it's a deep internal reckoning.
Definitely. And what's even more striking, maybe, is that comparison in chapter 4. The punishment of my people is greater than that of Sodom. Sodom, a place known for, extreme wickedness.
Wow.
And there's a strong indictment of the leadership, too. It happened because of the sins of her prophets and the iniquities of her priests, who shed within her the blood of the righteous. That raises big questions about accountability, doesn't it?
It does. How do you hold leaders responsible when disaster strikes? But then the text also talks about God's role, an active role, seemingly hostile. It's not just that God allowed it, it describes God's direct actions in their suffering. That feels like a really stark theological position.
It is. Very stark. How the Lord has covered the daughter of Zion with the cloud of his anger. He has hurled down the splendor of Israel from heaven to earth. And then, this is chilling, without pity the Lord has swallowed up all the dwellings of Jacob. In his wrath he has torn down the strongholds. The Lord is depicted like an enemy.
Like an enemy.
Yeah, who has strung his bow and slain all who are pleasing to the eye. This isn't passive at all. It's portraying God as directly inflicting this pain.
That's deeply unsettling, isn't it? To see God described that way, actively involved in the destruction, what does that tell us about how they understood divine justice, divine power, when faced with something like this?
Well, it suggests a theology of suffering that doesn't shy away from pointing the finger, even at the ultimate authority.
Yeah. The text even says, the Lord has done what he planned. He has fulfilled his word, which he decreed long ago. He has overthrown you without pity. And the wrath feels almost physical. From on high he sent fire, sent it down into my bones. You have slain them in the day of your anger. You have slaughtered them without pity. It feels like massive divine retribution.
Exactly. And the intensity just peaks in chapter 4. The Lord has given full vent to his wrath. He has poured out his fierce anger. He kindled a fire in Zion that consumed her foundations. But, beyond the divine anger, there's also this profound sense of human betrayal, failure. That just added to the despair.
Yes, the text is really clear on that. Among all her lovers, there is none to comfort her. All her friends have betrayed her. They have become her enemies. Even allies couldn't be trusted.
No comfort anywhere.
I called to my allies, but they betrayed me. And the prophets, the ones who should have warned them, they failed too. The visions of your prophets were false and worthless. They did not expose your sin.
To ward off your captivity. The oracles they gave you were false and misleading.
Yeah.
It's just a total breakdown of trust, isn't it? Human and divine. Leaves them utterly alone.
Completely isolated. But then chapter 3 happens, and after all that raw despair, all the blame, the text just makes this radical pivot.
It really does. It's a huge psychological shift, theological too, from this collective we are doomed to an individual's, defiant cry of hope right in the middle of the ruins.
Yeah.
And it's not just a literary trick. It really challenges you to think about where hope can even come from when everything, absolutely everything, is stripped away.
And that shift to the singular voice, the I, is so powerful. I am the man who has seen affliction by the rod of his wrath. It makes the suffering so personal. You hear about specific torment. He's made my skin and my flesh grow old and has broken my bones. He has besieged me with bitterness and hardship.
And feeling like a direct target. He drew his bow and made me the target for his arrows. But it's right out of that deep personal anguish that the hope starts to emerge.
Exactly. This individual pain leads straight to the turning point. Despite being deprived of peace, having forgotten what prosperity is, this flicker appears.
Those famous lines.
Yeah. Yet this I call to mind, and therefore I have hope. Because of the Lord's great love, we are not consumed, for his compassions never fail.
Just think about that. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness.
Yeah.
I mean, after everything described before, that's an astonishing declaration of trust.
It's incredible. After all the devastation, the self-blame, the perceived divine anger, to find hope in God's compassion, his faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, therefore I will wait for him.
Yeah.
It feels like an act of just defiant faith in the middle of total ruin. How does someone even arrive at that conclusion after everything they've just laid out?
Well, maybe it's precisely because they've hit rock bottom that this insight breaks through. It's like a realization that God's love isn't dependent on their circumstances or their past mistakes, but on God's own nature. And that realization then leads to this call for reflection, for petition.
Right.
Why should any living man complain when punished for his sins? Let us examine our ways and test them, and let us return to the Lord. See, that's a big shift from just raw lament to, like, active self-assessment,
Yeah.
and then pleading for help.
Right. The individual voice then appeals directly. You heard my plea. Do not close your ears to my cry for relief. You came near when I called you, and you said, do not fear. O Lord, you took up my case. You redeemed my life.
It's a remarkable transformation.
Yeah.
From total despair to this direct, almost confident plea, even asking for justice against enemies. Pay them back what they deserve, O Lord.
It's like finding that glimmer of hope gives them the power, the right, almost, to ask for justice.
It seems so, but, and this is important, it's not like a simple happily ever after ending. Chapters 4 and 5, they dive back into the lingering disgrace, the ongoing hardship, even after that moment of hope.
Right. The emotional journey isn't just a straight line up.
No, not at all.
You see it again in those grim details. Our inheritance has been turned over to aliens, our homes to foreigners. We have become orphans and fatherless, our mothers like widows. The basics are still luxuries.
Still paying for water, paying for wood. It's this ongoing erosion of their whole social and economic life.
And the social order breakdown is still there too. Princes have been hung up by their hands. Elders are shown no respect. That sounds depressingly familiar, actually.
It really does. We see echoes of that in so many conflicts today, don't we? That immediate collapse of basic civility, respect, joy.
Yeah. The youth are silenced. The elders are gone from the city gate. The young men have stopped their music. Joy is gone from our hearts. Our dancing has turned to mourning. The crown fallen. Complete loss of honor.
Total loss of dignity.
So after this whole journey, profound loss, self-blame, that radical hope, and then back to the reality of continued degradation, what does that mean for the very end of the text? It comes back to this direct appeal again, right?
Exactly. But now it's sort of infused with the hope that was found in chapter 3.
Okay.
It circles back to that initial cry, but with this renewed purpose. It's desperate, yes, but also persistent, reaching out. Remember, O Lord, what has happened to us. Look and see our disgrace. And then that question, almost a challenge born of desperation, but also hope. Why do you always forget us? Why do you forsake us so long? It's like refusing to just accept their fate quietly.
Yeah, they won't stop asking why. And the final plea, drawing on that hope, restore us to yourself, O Lord, that we may return, renew our days as of old. That's powerful.
Is, but them.
And that very last line, it ends with this shadow of doubt, doesn't it? Unless you have utterly rejected us and are angry with us beyond measure, it just leaves you hanging there.
Yeah. And that lingering doubt, I think it's key. It's honest. It portrays enduring suffering realistically. It acknowledges that even when you find hope, the pain, the unanswered questions, they don't just evaporate.
Right.
It's vulnerable. It's raw. It perfectly captures that human condition in extreme distress, the tension between deep faith and devastating reality.
So what we've really seen in Lamentations is this gripping journey from the absolute depths of despair, national, individual, through the self-blame, the pain of recognizing divine judgment,
Right.
to this truly profound, almost defiant moment of hope, rooted somehow in divine compassion, and then culminating in this fervent but still vulnerable plea for restoration.
It's an incredible emotional arc. The text just vividly shows how suffering can lead to deep self-reflection, a reevaluation of divine justice, maybe?
Yeah.
And this enduring cry for renewal, even when everything seems lost.
Yeah.
It's a powerful testament, really, to the human spirit's capacity to find, I don't know, a glimmer of hope, or at least the courage to ask for it, when everything seems utterly destroyed.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? This ancient text forces us to consider, what does it actually take for a person or a whole community to pick themselves up after something like this, to reevaluate everything, even their relationship with God, and still find the strength to ask for restoration, even when the very foundations have been consumed by fire. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep getting well informed. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.